Now, many people have paved the way for me and countless others over the years, to include Henry O. Flipper. And I am supremely grateful to all of them for their courage, for their determination.
So we don't want individuals in the White House who just can toe a party line around economic fairness or gun violence, and then when you drill down, they can't actually meet the material needs of our communities. And this is a challenge for progressives, I believe, in their governance. We have great rhetoric, but our governance is lacking because we too often do not bring people into governance spaces that are proximal to the daily material needs of Black people. In the Black Church PAC, every day of our existence, every week we have a service, whether it's virtual or in person, we are dealing with families and individuals who are dealing with the daily struggles of material needs. That has to be borne out in governance, and that's a part of why the Black Church PAC exists, to bring that pressure.
We are losing life and hope at an alarming rate.
But it's important to put Blacks, other minorities, women at the highest level. It's not only symbolic, but it's simply important. Everybody brings a new perspective. So if you have all white males at the table, you're going to get primarily a single perspective on various issues. It's important to have diversity. It's important that at the highest levels of our government, that those people occupying those leadership positions reflect the populace. You don't just want one segment of the populace in the leadership. And so having this diversity, to me, enriches the whole decision-making process. And it's important to have experience and ethnic diversity, and those can be found. Those are not mutually exclusive. Many people have served in government and that also have experience and also have a minority background.
But every doctor knows that when a patient is coding, your plans don't matter. You answer the code. And when the nation is coding, if you are called to serve, you serve.
It can become, I think, both counterproductive to staffing a new administration, those kinds of criticisms. The more substantive critiques, I think, are the ones where if one side or the other feels like the policy direction is off, right? Or ideologically, like one side is being really shortchanged, and a campaign promise, say, wasn't being met.
If we're willing to take on the responsibility.
I would argue that we're seeing two things that are unique. One is a huge emphasis on experience. Almost everyone he's named has worked in a prior White House or somewhere in the executive branch. And I would argue that that is a welcome contrast to the Trump administration, because these government jobs are not easy. They take a long time to learn. I've interviewed people in oral history projects where they say it took them like 6 months to figure out what they were doing, and then they left 9 months later because they were wiped out, burned out, exhausted. There's a steep learning curve. And so if you've had experience, that makes a huge difference.
As Secretary of Defense,